Good morning and welcome to Sewing Street. I'm John Cole Morgan and it's Monday morning. Welcome. Most of us are not doing the slog to work today, so stay in and sew, keep doing what you're doing and just keep safe and everybody keep doing what you can do. We have got the most amazing deal today for our early bird sale. We have got not one but two of these fabulous bobbin holders. Now I don't know if you're like me, I love being able to put many, many bobbins of all different colours all in these little slots. And the great thing is because these aren't dedicated sewing machines, because I've got 2 or 3 different sewing machines, I can actually put all my bobbins in these plastic boxes and it just works so, so well. And for the 2 of them, and before I do the price on that, look at these, they're really cute and you can keep them all nice and safe. Very trendy colour. And $7.98 for the 2 of them. So you can buy them at $7.98 and keep one and maybe give one away. But they are just such a fabulous product. And because for me, I love having all my bobbins wound, ready to go, especially if I'm doing a big project and I know it's going to take a while. I put all my neutrals in one and I get all my colours in the other, or I put a bit of both in each. It's just a really, really great product. And many of you know we sold out on our early bird special yesterday. And that was within, I think, an hour and 30 minutes, hour and 20 minutes. So don't hang about. If you are interested in this, don't hang around. And it's the one-day P&P. So if you do get the early bird now, you're only going to pay the P&P once throughout the day if you buy something else later in the show. And you're saving £2 by getting both of them. And it's just such a wonderful, wonderful product. So if many of you haven't bought with us before and you're very keen to do it, we've got many ways, or 2 ways that you can buy with us. You can either do the website, which is www.sewingstreet.com, or you can call our UK-based call centre, 0800 001 4433. With the call centre, obviously where we are right now, everything's a little bit delayed. Things may take a little bit longer to answer the call, but we will get to you and we're keeping the dispatches and everything going for as long as we can. So just bear with it. If your call takes a few seconds longer to answer, it's simply because we're trying to make sure everybody's safe and we're complying to all the standards and everything at the moment. So there we go. That's our wonderful early bird special. Really, really excited about that. So make sure you check that out. We have got an absolute deluge of really fabulous products today, but the one I am most excited about is, and I'm stroking it and loving it because this is a premiere, and we've got the most fabulous colours, extra wide backing. Now come on, who does not want extra wide backing? Now this is such a vivid colour, and what we've got now, no doubt this will fail hopelessly, but I'm going to try and show you just how much there is of this fabric. But the shots aren't big enough, so I have to pin that there. It's me off the screen. It is 108 inches, this piece of backing. So you can see I've got my hand here, I'm just going to bring that along, and you can see 108 inches of fabric. Oh, we're just zooming out so you can just see the end of my hand there. Actually, I'm going to pin this right a little bit further on the model, because I think it's important that you get to see just how wide it is. Don't fall over, please, thank you. I'm going to call her Maggie. Hopefully Maggie can stay there, and you can see just how big this piece of fabric is. And that is 1/2 metre wide, and for $8.99. I'm sorry, that is just such a great deal. And the thing I love about it is not only does it come in this incredibly wonderful, vibrant green, it also comes in our lovely, and I'm not going to put these away in a minute, we've got this beautiful cream. We've got a gorgeous cream, same size as well. I'm just going to slide our early bird out the way. And you can see that, oh, there we go. So you can see the beautiful meander on there. But what I love about this meander is if you're a beginner quilter like I was or am, and because on machine quilting it gets quite hard and you like to have your lines and then you put your friction pen on and you put your hands on it and the friction pen's worn off, you've got these wonderful lines that you can follow on your machine, free motion all the way along. And even if you just want to practice your free motion and it's not for backing a quilt, this is a fabulous piece of fabric, because all you do is you fold it into 8 pieces, you get a piece like that, and you just follow the lines, and you go through with all your quilting. So we've got this wonderful neutral, which I think we're calling, is this cream? Natural. We're calling that natural. And then we've got the fabulous grey. Grey is just the most in colour at the moment. And I'm not going to unfold it because you saw just how big it is. But you can see how lovely this grey colour is as well. And there we go. But as a backing of a quilt, that is just the most perfect colour, because it doesn't matter what you've done on the front, grey is the perfect colour to go with it, because the grey goes with everything. When I do quilts, grey is the colour I use most on all of my threads. So I think this is a really, really fabulous product. And look at the price, $8.99 for half a metre, and it's 108 inches wide. You cannot get better than that. It's just such a great, great product. But if you're a bit more vibrant and you like to do things a bit more vibrantly, look how wonderful this green is. Oh, and I've just knocked over the early bird. Sorry about that. And I'm going to try and fold this right. I'm not sure I can because there's just so much fabric here. Because I'm never very good at folding these all back. But just look how fun the colour is. And you can just see the lines. And if you want to do free motion and you've got that, even if you're just practicing on it, it's such a good price that you just cut this up into squares that you feel comfortable with. And you just go into the machine and you can do all these squiggles and follow it on the machine, doing a contrasting colour, and it would work beautifully. But equally, what a fun back for a children's quilt. Or you're doing a quilt for the garden that you want to just have it on a picnic garden mat. It's just a perfect, perfect colour. Such a wonderful product, new to Sewing Street today. And the last time, well, every time I've seen them on channels before, they've been a lot more expensive and they go so quickly. So again, don't forget, if you check out now on another product, you can then have the one-day P&P, $3.95 throughout the day, so you won't miss out. It's just such wonderful, wonderful colours, really great quality. So yeah. You know what, John, let's go and revisit the early bird, because that's been selling out really well. I'm just hearing now, I need to just go recap on the early bird because it's been selling out really well. And we've got this wonderful bobbin case, spotted bobbin case. You've got two of them, and you've got these lovely machine, I don't know what you call them. You can get machine-specific bobbins, which are a hair's breadth a lot wider in all of them. But these work for universal bobbins all the way through. So it's just such a great way of being able to put all your bobbins in one place. Because like myself, I just throw them into the bottom of a box and end up wasting so much thread that you just end up having to snip them off at the end when you get to use them. But this is such a nice way of keeping them all together. And they're selling really, really well. So if you are interested, don't hang about. If you haven't got it in your basket and checked out, it's not yours yet. So just make sure if you are interested, don't hang around on those. So the next one is, which I'm very excited about, is I love anything that's going to add to your stash that you're definitely going to be able to use at a later date. And these are really, really good quality fabrics. These are, I'm just trying to see, it doesn't have a name on it, but it's it's 2 meters, am I not mistaken? You can get them by half meter, but we've got a 2 meter bundle special for you. So I'm just checking through. So this is the half meter. So just to give you an idea of the colours. So this I think we call black, or is it the charcoal? Black. Oh, I'm not in the way of the. I was a little worried when I unwrapped that I was going to hold it upside down. I don't think I've had enough coffee this morning. So the half metre of the black is $3.49 a metre. Now, this is the same fabric that I personally sell in my shop, and that is a lot cheaper than I sell it for. Don't tell my customers. But it is a lot cheaper, and it's a really good price. So that's coming in at $6.98 a metre for the fabric. And anybody who's looking for a decent quality quilting cotton. Why do I come up with these combinations of words that just sound difficult? These are really good quality. It's a lovely, you can't see through them. They're just really nice, soft and lovely quality. If we're doing the 2 metre bundle, oh my word, so if you wanted 2 meters of the black, you're going to save £1.50 because that's £12.46 for 2 meters. So that's £6.23 a metre. And when's the last time you got a really good quality fabric for £6.23 a metre? So I think we've got that same deal on all of these colours. So here we've got the navy. I'm sure it's called navy. And it's a really nice navy as well, because some of them can be a bit lacking in colour, or... Just going to hide the early bird. Yes, so that's the navy. That's half a metre at £3.49. And these are normal quilting width, so it's about 42, 43 inches wide. I think it's 44 with the selvage. So that's the navy. Oh, I keep knocking over the early bird. It keeps wanting to run away. So obviously, if you buy these as a 2-metre bundle, it's going to be much more beneficial for you because you're saving so much more money on it. It's £12.46 for a 2-metre bundle, making it £6.23 a metre, as opposed to the £6.98 if you bought them as half metres. So this is my favourite colour at the minute. It's the school grey. I know, because I've used it so much of late. I just love this grey. It's such a beautifully deep, wonderful grey. And just even if you haven't got a project in mind, these are great stash builders, and you know that you would always need a grey at some point for a specific product, a specific project. So this would be a good one to just add into your kit and have there when you're ready. And the 2-metre bundle for this one is £12.46, and for a half metre that's £3.49. So the metre price, if you're buying the half metre again, would be £6.98. So this one, if I'm not mistaken, is the cream, because we've got cream, ivory and white. I'm just going to show you the colour variation between the three, because I think it's quite nice to be able to see the cream, white and ivory. So there we go. So this is the white, this is the ivory, and this is the cream. So you can see it's a very subtle gradation of colour there, but I think it's quite nice to be able to see the three together before I show them individually, just that way, because I know with myself, I'm like, oh, would I prefer the ivory or would I prefer the white? But this cream is really nice. It just makes me think of vanilla ice cream. And who wouldn't want a vanilla ice cream? So in order to show you the 2 metres, maybe what I can do is I can put 4 of these edge to edge. So you know the width. So if I can show you the width of these here, you can see that's how wide they are. So I'm going to move the early bird out of the way. Just pop him there for 2 minutes. So if I pop the cream on the edge here of the table, and I'll pop the school grey. So obviously if you were buying the 2 metres, this would all be the same colour. You're not going to get one of each colour. But just to give you an idea of the size that you'll be looking at. So that's a metre. And again, remember, we're not getting this all in different colours. It would be in one colour. Ooh. Hopefully not going to knock over the early bird again, because I keep doing that. And these are all colours that you would use. It's every project you do with it. It doesn't matter what project it is. You're always going to need an extra filler of a plane. So these are great to buy at that price. It's such a good price. Just so that you... So that's the 2 metres. Sorry, I've got to talk back. I just got confused and stopped talking. Sorry about that. So this is the 2 metres that you would get. So you can see just how much fabric you're getting for that £12.46. But obviously the colour that you would buy, that would be how much fabric you would get of each one. And I've just heard now, what was that about the bundles? Right, so I've just heard now that we sold out of the half metres in the school grey and the cream, so the only way to be able to get those two are by buying them in 2 metres. And the reason for that, obviously, is that they are such popular colours, which means, you know, you're not going to lose out on them. And if you want the great thing with these is I actually, my foundation paper piecing class I did last week, 2 people I did the class with privately have bought this for the backing of their quilts, and I tell you, the backing on this in the school grey is so beautiful, because whatever colour you do as a contrast, if you did because we did gold on theirs, it just popped so beautifully. But equally with the cream. Cream's a really great colour to do, a little bit more difficult to keep clean, so if you've got kids, maybe that's not the way. But it's just a really nice backing as well, because it's good quality. This is now the ivory, so the ivory is available in the half metre as well as the 2 metre bundle. It's just the school grey and the cream that's now only available in the 2 metre packs, because we've sold out. And that's the risk of not putting that, if you put it in your basket and you don't check out, that's the risk of it. So make sure if there is anything you want, you check out as soon as you can, because you won't lose out with a one-day P&P of $3.95 all day. And that's whether you do it on the website or call later. So that's the ivory. I just heard now the navy is single figures for the bundle. So this has been a very, very popular collection. So you can see why. It's really good quality, good price point, and it's a lot cheaper than you're going to get it in my shop, that's for sure. And that's the white by the half metre. So this is available both by the half metre and the 2 metre bundle. Half metre is $3.49 and the 2 metre bundle is $12.46, was it? Just trying to remember that off the top of my head. Yes, $12.46 for the 2 metres. So a really, really good price point, a lovely product, and proving very popular this morning, which is great. I'm really pleased. Great opportunity to get 2 metres and a great opportunity to get a Monday morning bargain. How are we doing on the early birds? I'm going to keep my little early bird there. Still going very well, so if you are interested, make sure you don't hang about on that. And I'm loving this extra wide backing. Really, really fun product. Can I hang that over the top that you can see the stripe? There we go. You can see the little stripy bits on there. So shall we do one of these books? We're going to do the modern quilting book. Right, so I'm just hearing if you are interested in the navy and you're wanting 2 metres, we have 4 left. Only 4. Gosh, they've sold really well this morning. So if you are interested in those, please check out your baskets, because it's not yours until you check out. And somebody may call into the call centre and then be able to nick that out your basket with that because you haven't paid for it yet. And the early bird, we're into teen figures on that. So if you are keen on that, make sure you don't hang about on it. I'm so pleased you're all getting really great bargains on these because they're such good prices. I wish I'd ordered some of this beforehand, but there we go. So now we've got this wonderful book, Modern Quilting by, is it Michael or Michelle? I always get that wrong. Michael Caputo. There we go. And there we go. Because we're on skeleton staff at the moment, I am not being very good at following where the camera is. But it is a lovely book. Look at that bed. And the great thing is, shall we go on the overhead? Can you do that? I'm just going to move those out your way. Oh, I love these. See, I always get daunted by modern quilts. Oh, look at that. Now you see, that looks like a lot of curves, but actually that might very well be worth it. But I'm not sure me as a beginner would be very comfortable doing that. I would start with something like that, because that's just straight line sewing and easily done. But look at the backing on that. That's just so clever with a little backing all coordinating there. And when I see that, I always wonder, did they get the backing first and then get the solids, or did they do it the other way around? Also, you've got lots of details on how to doing... Oh, I think Sylvia's had a part in this. Hand sewing the binding. She wants me to learn that. Hand sewing the back of the binding on. Oh, simple fabric boxes. I actually think fabric boxes are definitely a thing of the future, and there's a lot more of that coming. Oh, I love this because they've shown you how to quilt it too. What a clever thing. Oh, Mr. Caputo, I'm liking your book. Is this the first time we've had this on? I think it's definitely the first time I've seen... Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Sorry, I've just fallen in love with the I Get Around ironing mat and machine cover. That is gorgeous. Oh, I'm loving that. Oh, now we're on to the quilts. Oh, we love a mini. This is a mini wheel colour quilt. Oh, that's very pretty. And the great thing with this is you don't need a lot of your scraps to be able to make that either. Hypno quilt. Oh, that looks quite good. I can safely say this is coming home with me. But I do buy them from I call the call centre personally because I like chatting to the people. Especially in these days at the moment that everything's a bit stressed. I like having a little chat with them. Try and make them give them a bit of a giggle, because they do take the time with you as well. Look at that one. That is very fun. And the great thing about what I'm liking about this book, I'm just flicking back there, it's showing you how to actually sew them and where to pin it as well, which I think is very clever. Because if you're like me and you don't like pinning... Oh, here's the curves. Here's the curves. That is beautiful. I have to say, because I've trained myself to do these curves now, I'm thinking, oh, actually, maybe I should push the boat out and do a curved quilt. But then I probably have a cup of tea and think to myself, actually, I should just calm down now. Stop being silly. What a lovely, lovely book. Because sometimes these modern books, when they say modern, I get a bit daunted and I think, oh, I'll never be able to do that. But that looks really good. Like that. So this is on the website or on at the call centre for $10.99 today. Modern Quilting by Michael Caputo. Love that. Big block quilts. I do have my tongue stuck in my hide my tea. Sorry. So this one is, okay, it's written Annie's Quilting. Love Annie's Quilting. Look at these. And the great thing here is they've broken it down into segments as well, so you can see how you're doing it, which we like. Monkey business, that's very cute. I love quilts like this because you can then really focus on the actual quilting of it. Really fun little book. And this one's $8.99. Oh, look at the applique on that. Oh my. Oh, that's very pretty. Oh, sorry, I've got my head in the picture as well. As you can see, I'm getting very excited about this. Sorry. I think it's, oh, look, and these templates are brilliant. So this book, how many projects? 10 projects with big impact. And they're not messing about. That is quite right. Because what I'm liking with these as well, you can make these into a nice cushion or just my little creative head going here. I love this block. I think that's beautiful. But I'm then thinking the applique from there onto a piece in there and then making my borders all the colours of that, that could look pretty as well. So the great thing with these books is for $8.99 for 10 projects, that's only 89 or just 90p, let's call it, 90p a design, but you can mix and match them. That one as well, you could put the applique in the middle of that and you could scale the appliques up and down. Really, really good book. I like this. Really simple way of putting the borders together because sometimes you get a bit daunted as to how it all goes together. That works quite well too. I'm just looking here. Oh, and it teaches you, oh, I'm sorry, this I'm going to take a moment to read, because what we've got here is the different stitches. So I've never understood the difference between blanket stitch, zigzag, satin, buttonhole. There we go. I've got my 6 pictures, and a lifetime of ignorance has completely been fixed in all of that. And this is the different ways that you can stitch down your raw edge applique. So you're going to fuse them down. If you fuse them down, other people would prefer not to. You can then do all your different stitching along there, or you could do a combination. You might want to do a satin stitch around your flowers or do a blanket stitch around your vine, because that would look quite effective as a blanket stitch all around there. Or even the buttonhole stitch, look at that, where you can actually raise it up. That could be quite nice as well. So a really, really fun book this. Lots and lots of templates. Really good. So, Big Annie Quilting, you've got a thumbs up from me today. So let's recap all of these. The extra wide backing fabric is definitely the top product of the day. Look at this. So this is now folded. I'm going to fold it in. There's half. So this is half. Do you want shall I show them how wide it is again? Pop it on my mannequin. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to call her Mary. Sorry, Mary. I'm going to get close and personal with you now. I don't know if her name's Mary. Oh my goodness, I'm just hearing, if you like the grey, We only have 15 meters left of the grey, so if you are interested, make sure you check out that basket ASAP. You don't want to be losing out. You've got these amazing different patterns on them. Different... There we go. So you can see me there. Look how wide that is for $8.99. So that's the piece you'd get for $8.99. And if you were going to just use it to practice with, you know, a really good size to practice with would be that. Oh, if you're just making a nice cushion, and you'd be able to get at least 5 or 6 pieces that size out of that size. But it's a really good product there. And just such fun colours as well. So not only have you got this really funny green, which is I love a nice vivid green. I think they're wonderful. And my friend Angie, she only ever uses bright colours like this, so that actually would be really good for that. If there's any left, I'm going to give her a ring and check if she's going to get some. But such a lovely design on the back. I'm going to get that there. So such a lovely design. If you want to learn your free motion quilting, that's a lovely way of doing it. And you can see all the patterns are, so this column here is slightly different to the middle column. So you can see that it's a nice way that you could actually have those, you could just, what's in the screen at the moment, you could just take it out. If you had what was in the screen at the moment, then you could actually then, can I get this right? There we go. What's the screen there? You've got loads of different movements on it to be able to get different techniques and different ways of how you prefer to do that free motion quilting and free motion embroidery on there. So that we've got the green that you've just seen here. The grey, this has got less than 15 meters left of the grey. So if you are interested in the grey, don't hang about. And again, if it's not checked out, it's not yours. So you've got the grey. And you can see what I mean about the different designs and the different ways. So they're very, very different there. These two are the same, but then the one in the middle is very different. Oh, we've just had a call in. What about beanbag covers? What a clever idea. That's really good. Oh, I love a good beanbag. And the colours are so good. And then you've got the new, what we call this natural, which is, again, also really lovely colour. I will get this right. It really makes you feel like ice cream, doesn't it? Like an ice cream cone as well, which has got all those interesting shapes on them too. But at $8.99, such a great price for these. Don't hang around on those. I think you're getting so much fabric for your money there, even if you just use it as a practice for your free motion. Really good. We also then had our solids, which some of them are available in 1/2 metre, some of them in 2 metre. You'll need to check on the website which ones are available for the 1/2 metre because they're moving really quickly. How are we doing on the navy 2 metre bundle? Not sure. We're going to double check on that, but yes, the 2 metre bundle on the navy. Last time we heard there were only 3 left or 4 left. Gosh, so the white 2 metre bundle's only got 8 left. The grey and the cream were no longer available in the 1/2 metre. So these have done really, really, really well. So if you are interested in some really good stash building, I don't want to call them basics, but they are basics because they're a basic colour that most of us would have in our collection. How many? 1. We have 1 navy 2 metre piece for $12.46. And you know what it is? You'll always regret that fabric that you have left behind. You're going to think in a day's time, oh, I needed that navy and I haven't got it. Don't hang about. So shall we do the swans next? I am loving these. Such a lovely, lovely colour combination on these. I'm just going to move that out of the way. So we've got a bundle. We've got a combination here. We've got a bundle. So these are 4 1/2 metre pieces. I'm going to try and hold them up for you first on camera, so you can see exactly the colourways together. So you can see how nicely they blend in together. So all 4 of these as 1/2 metres each for £27.96. So I'm going to show you each of these 1/2 metres as they go. Are these available by the 1/2 metre on the website as well? So I'm going to show you them by the 1/2 metre. So don't forget they are available as a 1/2 metre bundle of the 4 of them together, which is $27.96, was it? So they're $6.99 for the 1/2 metre on their own. but they're available as well as a bundle, and the bundle of 4 were 27, sorry, I can't remember what the figure was. But look at those really fun little leaves. And what you can't tell is that these are actual little feathers, and there's actually a little metallic gold on the spine of every feather. And you can see as I'm shining it in the light there, you can see how it's reflecting so beautifully. Poor Joe's running from the studio now to come and have a little zoom in so we can show you the metallic on these feathers. There you go. See, this would make a beautiful cushion, this would make a lovely border, it would even make a beautiful binding, because that little pop of gold in there, the metallic, it's quite hard to find metallic at this price, because metallics are really expensive to print onto fabric. And this is $6.99 for a ½ metre. And just a real, oh, I've just lost, this poor early bird has been knocked over by me so many times. There we go, stay. So that's the ½ metre of the orange feather. Oh, it is called orange feather, good. And again, I'm wonderful at packing things up. So we'll do so this black feather is incredibly limited outside of the bundle. So if you are interested in this, do not hang about. It is incredibly limited, but look at that. So you can get them in the bundle, obviously, but if you do want them as the ½ metre pieces, these are incredibly limited, because you can see why. It is so beautiful. And if you wanted to then match your cushions then, and you had the orange bundle as well, or the orange piece as well, you can see just how beautiful they are together. So the one I'm showing you here is the orange feather, and then behind that is the black feather, and each of them are ½ metre for $6.99. So you don't get those together, they're individual. But the black one, as I've said before, really, really limited on that, so don't hang around because you always regret them if you lose them. So that's the black feather, that's our orange feather. And then we've got 2 really cute, well, I'm going to do the swans first, because look how cute they are. Again, there's lots of metallic in this as well. And these are black swans on pink. But look how the metallic just pops on that screen. It just really works. It's very, very vibrant. They look almost like peonies in the background, don't they? And that's what I love about these fabrics, is you've got something in the background as well, because I love doing kaleidoscopes and stack and wax. So I'm always looking for detailing in the back, that if you cut something up, what it would look like when you put it all back together differently. But a really lovely piece of fabric then, ½ metre, and I'm just going to accept the early bird I'm never going to be able to keep upright. Stay there, go on. How's our early bird doing? All going very, very well on the early bird as well. And a lot of new customers. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the products. So those are the 3 of the bundle. And now we've got our last piece that are in the bundle. Again, this is also available in ½ meters. And this one is called, is this Black Swan Floral. Got my tongue stuck today. But it's a really lovely fabric as well. Goes beautifully well in the bundle. So we're in the low teens on the early bird, I'm hearing now. So if you are keen on those bobbin holders, don't hang around. Really lovely product, this. And it's a combination together, because I think also some people really struggle putting fabrics together. So what I love about a bundle is somebody's already done it for you. And you can see that these 4 together go so beautifully. There we go, we can see all 4 of them together there. If I'd folded that with a little bit more space, you'd be able to see all of them. So you're getting 2 meters of fabric there. On what's on your screen at the moment will be ½ meter each. That's £27.96. And the black feather fabric here is available by the ½ meter, but not a lot of it. If you are keen, it needs to go. Have a check on the website and you'll be able to find it from there. But what a lovely bundle. Nice thing to have today. We're having lots of wonderful product today. We've got the amazing extra wide backing we've already gone through. We've got our stash builders of the solids, and we've got this wonderful pack. So I'm going to have to contain myself for a moment now because I saw this in a picture on a sheet somewhere and I was clapping my hands. I might have texted Hayley at a very inappropriate time very early in the morning to ask about it. And I have it. I am so excited about this. I'm going to put this as a bundle first because I think the hero of this product is this amazing panel. But the panel you only get when you buy the bundle. So that's the one thing you just need to do this. But I have a plan in mind for this already. So this is the bundle panel. So you can see it's a really good size. And you've got 4 of these motifs. One is saying share kindness, and the other one is saying give kindness. No, give blessings. And in the world we're in at the minute, share kindness and give blessings definitely comes to mind. Sorry, you get 6 of these. I miscounted there, sorry. So you get 6 of these together, and I'm going to ask them to zoom in on this, because look at the quality on it. I'm going to do it on the overhead, actually, if you don't mind, because I have an idea of how this is going to make the most stunning quilt. I'm going to slide these books along and sneakily grab a sip of my tea, sorry. Talking for so long makes your throat very dry, and I think we're all too scared to cough right now. So, at the moment, we have got these 6 panels. So you can see them on the overhead there. We might be upside down, so I'm going to flip this around to make your lives easier. So we have that. Then we have this, I think is called the Trellis Border. This is available by the ½ metre or in the bundle. But because I love taking a panel like this and then I cut it out. And I cut it out because I want to put fabric around it, because I want to make a quilt out of this, and I want to put the fabric around that and build it up. And if you look at this trellis border, how beautiful is that to build as a border? Because it already gives you the product, and some of us struggle with how to actually make a quilt out of these panels. So my thing would be I would cut those into 6 pieces. I would take this, because you get 8 repeats of this trellis border. So this is half of it, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the other side you get 4 as well. You can then take that out and put that as a border on the outside of your, I'm going to fold it there so you can see it better. You put that on the outside of your square. But now we have the next product. I can't remember the name of this one, but this is all included in your bundle. If you don't like that as your border, you put that as your border. And you just then use your border there, and you've got this fabulous piece here, and look at the detailing on it. This is the most beautiful fabric I have seen in a very, very long time. Look at the detailing, and I'm going to ask for them to zoom in on it, because who made this? Rustic Rosettes by P&B Textiles. As you're zooming down, you're going to see the quality of this printing, and the fabric is really lovely to touch. Just look at that detailing on it. So you're getting ½ metre of this piece. So we'll go onto the main screen now, so I'll show you. You're getting ½ metre of that. Beautiful, just so beautiful. You're getting ½ metre of this. And we're going to run through them individually in a minute, just to give you the bundle, what you're getting. So that's ½ metre of that. And ½ metre of this trellis border. And then the hero of the product is, the hero product of this bundle is this panel, which unfortunately is, well, it's not unfortunately, it's available in the bundle together, but you can only buy it in the bundle, and that is £25.96 for the whole lot. So I'm really hoping we don't sell out on this, because I didn't know this was on the show before we went on the show, and I am buying 2 of these because they are so beautiful and just such a wonderful, wonderfully thought out product. And with that wording nowadays, give blessing, share kindness, we definitely need more of that in our worlds at the moment. So that's the packet there, and I'm going to show you these as the ½ metre. So we'll do this one first. I think it's called the Trellis Border. I can't remember which one's which. I'm 90% sure this is the Trellis Border. But it's just so pretty. Now, everybody, we've just been talking about backings with the extra wide. This is $5.99 for a ½ metre. Can you imagine this being the back of a quilt with what you've just made from the bundle? So if you're buying a metre of this, I'm going to show you. So this is selvage, this is selvage. That's how it is going to come. So you're going to end up with that twice. So these are the edges of the selvage. The fabric's always cut from selvage to selvage. That's just standard. So you won't get more across because they haven't printed more across. It's all going to be from selvage to selvage. I don't know who asked the question, but thank you very much for the question. It's a really good question. So that's the first one, which is the succulents border for $5.99 for a ½ metre. And then we've got this, which is the wall trellis. And just look at the different... I don't even know where to look. There are so many different wordings on it. It's just really clever. Sustain joy, plant hope, give grace. You just share blessings, give grace. You just... Everywhere you look is something more beautiful. And... Because you see, people are always looking for things to fussy cut out. You cannot get a better product to cut out. And what's even better is, I'm going to just ask if we can flip to the overhead. When you're fussy cutting, I always look and say, yeah, you say you can fussy cut it, but what's my distance between the two? So let's look here. These are the tightest ones that you'd want to fussy cut, those 4. So I won't, that's probably 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit. Wait, if only I had a ruler nearby. So these are coming up in the next hour. So you can see that that bit there, that is 1/4 of an inch. So if you were fussy cutting that out, you would lose some of the petal. This one's a bit better because that's 3/8 of an inch, a little bit under 3/8 of an inch. So if you did need half an inch between, these trellis bits are just, they're 5/8 of an inch. So I think it's important to just show you that, because I know when I'm fussy cutting things out, I need to know where I am. So I'd go through around all 4 of those and just accept I may just have a little bit of a loss of the corner there. Because sometimes when you do want a fussy cut, the designers who've made it have put these next to each other, so you actually distort it too much and you lose too much of the petals. Whereas I think it's nice, I'm glad I've got the ruler nearby that I can just show you so you can see just how wide and how apart everything is. And the great thing is you can watch us back on YouTube and you can go right up to your screen and you can look at that really closely. And don't judge me because I haven't had a manicure. I can't have one at the moment. So those are you get the panel and you get those 2. And then the third, these are the ½ meters, but if you were doing the bundle, this is now the last one to come in the bundle. And I'm sorry, I don't know who would not love these fabrics, but look at this. It's just... gorgeous. It is absolutely stunning and it is so vibrant and it is just the most wonderful, wonderful fabric. And I really am hoping we don't sell out because I might even try and do my order between 9 and 10, but this is such a beautiful fabric. So those are our amazing fabrics for the show, this show. So at the... We're going to just cover this again as a bundle. So that's going to be your first fabric. Your second fabric would be what I think we called this wall trellis. So that's your second fabric that will come with you. I'm not folding this very well in true John fashion. I'm just trying to make sure that I treat this so beautifully because we all have that fabric that we want to stroke and lovingly fold and treat right. This is definitely that fabric for me. This would actually go in my Liberty box. I have a box of fabric that would only gets looked at and doesn't get cut. It's that combination. And then this amazing panel, you get 6 of these different motifs on the panel, but you can only get the panel in the bundle. The bundle price again is £25.96. And that's for the bundle. So you get this whole panel and a ½ metre of each of those other fabrics. got these the wrong way around. So these are the products you're going to get if you do the bundle. Going on the overhead now, so you're going to get the panel. So that's the first motif on the panel. This is the second. And then you've got the 3 fabrics that go with. You've got, this is the trellis border. This is the wall trellis border. And then this one we've called the succulent border. Oh, just look at that. But now the other thing I would consider doing with this, sorry, as I've got my little creative head on, this is what I'm going to do with mine, is I'm going to get, I just want to colour match these. I'm going to get the ivory and put the ivory in the middle, because if you look at how well the ivory goes, you can see that if you just bought 2 meters of that and the bundle, that would work really, really well together. Because some of these, you might just want to put a little border around here in the ivory. You're not seeing that because of the graphic. You might just want to put a bit of the border of the ivory, then you pop that in, you can put your cornerstones in with the ivory. Maybe that's the way you want to go forward with it. And the ivory is available on the website by the half metre, and we've got that special as well for 2 metres at £12.46. I love working here because I can fiddle and faff and do all these wonderful combos. So now I'm going to just fold these and stroke them quietly. How are we doing on our extra wide backings? Because I'm loving these extra wide backings. We were very, very low stock on the grey, so I'm hoping the grey is still around because that is just such a beautiful colour. So if anybody is wanting to stay in touch with us, I'm sure you know all of our social media things. I'm just going to move these over so I can show you these again. Our social media, so we've got 2 different Facebook pages you can reach us on. One is Sewing Street TV, which is the proper, the channel's Facebook page. Is that the right way of saying it? Not sure. So it's the channel's one that's it's adminned by the channel. Well, they're all adminned by the channel. What am I trying to say? Sorry. So we've got 2 Facebook pages. One is Sewing Street TV, which is almost like the official one, if you like. And then we've got the fans page as well, which I love the fans page because you get to see what you're all making. And Vicky and I have got, and Debbie, we're doing our Make of the Week. We're trying to do one every week. So if you are posting on the fans page, just keep posting because every week we're going to pick a couple of winners and pick our Make of the Week and the product that's inspired us the most and the thing that we've loved the most on the page. And that doesn't mean we don't love them all. It's just something that's really struck our heart in some way or another. And wow, so the cream, we've only got 15 meters of that one left now, the natural. And again, at that price, I'm not surprised. 108 inches wide, half a meter, $8.99, really good price and just such a lovely product. And then we've got the grey again. Gosh, we've got less than 10 meters of the grey left. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get some later, but look at that. Just such a good colour. The green as well. And just like, I love the feel of the product as well. It's just such a nice feel. So those are our fabrics. We've got our Sew in 30 Minutes book. Now I love a book. You're determined to have my tea showing everywhere, aren't you? Sorry. So I'm hearing that Debbie Shaw has made everything in this book. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce Debbie's surname, so I'm simply going to say thank you, Debbie, for your book. Learn to Sew in 30 Minutes, Machine Sewing. So I'm going to start with von Grobler Grosier. I'm sorry, I probably got that wrong. Apologies. I have an awkward surname as well. So that is the book front page. Look at all these fun little makes. Learn to sew. Because I think at the moment we've all got that time where we're thinking, gosh, what can I do now? And these are really quick makes, learning how to sew. And oh gosh, she describes all the different fabrics as well that you can use. And this is very beginner friendly. Oh, I like this. Because you see, we've all got these, we sell those. They're really good, those. I love that. So it's got here a sewing seam roller. Indeed, that's what it is. And this one is number 28. Oh, I love this. It's got picture numbers next to the pictures, so you can go in and see it. That is amazing. I love this machine. The Sizzix Machine. You can do so much with them. It teaches you about grain and salvage. Oh, that's brilliant. Because the main important thing that most people don't know is selvage and grain. Because certainly in quilting books, they don't cover that nearly enough. Oh, and they show you the walking foot and free motion. So just a little snippet of every different thing you could be doing. Oh, how fun. That's a bit dangerous, though, letting somebody do circles as a quick and easy product. On felt, that's lovely. Oh, but that's clever. They're using the glue to hold it down first. Oh, I like this. It's a nice little book because it's things that you perhaps wouldn't normally have thought of making. Oh my goodness, they're making a little stamp. Oh, that's so cute. Making a little dog bone with a little stamp of a dog foot. Gosh, they've got so many different oh, look, slippers. Oh, I love that. Rainbows are in at the minute. We're all doing our rainbows. Oh, these leaves are lovely. But this is nice because we've got a new little baby in the family. Hello, Layla Eve. And I'm doing bunting for her, and I'm looking at this and thinking, that's very cute. Oh, folk art hoop, very good. Oh, it's really good because it shows you how to actually put it in and keep it secure as well. Oh, this is lovely. This lady's thought of absolutely everything. A mood placemat. Oh, that's good. Mod, not mood. Learn to read. Mod. Oh, a tablet case. We all need one of those. Really fun, good little makes. But the great thing is they're using all different products. They're not just using cottons. They're not using quilting cottons. Oh, it teaches you how to do a zip as well. Teaches you the main thing of how not to lose your zip end. Ask me how I know. And then they've got the usual tote bag. Not usual, but the lovely tote bag at the back. What a lovely little book. This is $12.99. It's got 25 different products on it. So is that almost 50p a project? Can't go wrong with that. Nice, easy, simple projects. I'll get my wording right today if it kills me. But really nice way of doing it, especially in today's culture, the way you, at home, a little bit bored, not sure what to do. That's a nice way of doing that. So we've got the early bird left now. Keep throwing it around the stage because I keep knocking it. Really cute little bobbin case holder. So you pop all your bobbins in there. There we go. So you put all your bobbins in there. You've got this really cute little case that secures quite nice and fast. And even, it doesn't matter how many times you knock it over on the counter, it works perfectly. You're getting 2 of those for $7.99 as our early bird special. We were down to the low teens a few minutes ago. I'm not sure how we're doing at the minute. But if you just make sure that you do check them out. If you're on the website and you can't find them on the website, give the call centre a call, because if you haven't checked out, they can whip it out your basket and it can go to somebody else. So make sure that you then check out as you go, because obviously if you haven't checked out, it's not yours yet. These are, so how many bobbins can I get in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 30 bobbins. Gosh, that's a lot. You can buy one, give one away as a present, or like me, you can have 60 bobbins in all different ways of doing them with the different colours. Because I've also got many, many sewing machines. So the great thing here is you could put there, because I've got the one sewing machine, the other sewing machine, and the other sewing machine's name, and then you can have all the different bobbins in there for each one. Because I've got, I think all of us have 2 or 3 different sewing machines. Some of mine, I have a few more. So that way then I always get a bit confused with the bobbins. So I don't need a big box for each bobbin, for each machine, but it's nice, you've got maybe 5 or 6 bobbins of each one. That way then you can just categorise them and put them all in there. And they look like they're all universal, so you can put whichever one you like. So really nice product. If you haven't checked out, make sure you do. And I'm going to try and put that there and not knock it over for the rest of the show. We're going to go back to our lovely colours. The ivory one is this one. So we've got this available. Is it the 1/2 metre and the 2 metre still? Only got these in, sorry, do we only have it in half or is it? So these are available in both the 1/2 metre and the 2 metre. I just had to check because we've been selling so well on some of them. We haven't got the 1/2 metres left yet. So this is such a lovely colour. It's the one I'm finding I'm using a lot more at the moment because it's not quite as stark as the white, not quite as creamy as the cream. It's a nice in-between colour on them. So this is £6. It is £12.46 for 2 metres, coming in at £6.23 per each metre. And then if you want it as a 1/2 metre, I think it's coming in at £3.99 for a 1/2 metre. £3.49, sorry, I got that wrong. So £3.49 for a 1/2 metre, but we're doing these today as some of them available at 1/2 metres, some of them available at 2 metres. They've just been selling so well, some of them aren't in the 1/2 metres and some of them aren't in the 2 metres. Navy is completely gone in the 2 metres, so if you like the navy, only available in the 1/2 metre. Not surprised because it's such a good price, really lovely colour. So once we've done all of those, you can all check those all out on the website in the different colours. But I'm very excited because the amazing Wendy Gardner, many of you know Wendy Gardner, I know her well. And this book, and if it wasn't as good, I promise I wouldn't gush as much as I do. This book is brilliant. I absolutely love this book. She has made the most incredible different products in here. There's 16 different projects for $9.99. Wendy's been writing books for years, absolute years, but she's written the most incredible techniques, tells you how to use twin needles. Not many people teach you how to do twin needles, but twin needles are really fun to do. She shows you quilt as you go and different products and different ways of doing it, different techniques, and some more than half, is it half? I'm just trying to see at what point you start with the projects. So she's giving you 34 pages of techniques and then you start the products. This one is my favourite one. I'm going to try and find that one now because what she's done very cleverly is she's made a 2-bottle bag. Now most people would use that for wine, but I'm not. I'm using it as gin and tonic. This is my gin and tonic bag. I'm trying not to bring it to work. I would never bring it here for work, but at the shop obviously. And then you go and you look at all that and it's just the most wonderful, wonderful products. Really, really cute way of doing it. The dotty notebook cover, just thinking of all these different ways to make your book not universal, but yours, unique. Lovely, lovely book. All these different products here with a craft basket liner with pockets. Just a really fun, fun book. I was looking at these, and when I did this book a couple of weeks ago, we said we were going to do one of these Top Tech pillows for our tablet. And now that we have a tablet official for us, we need to do that. I might have to take this book home with me to go and make that. But this is really cute as well, the cafetiere, cozy and coasters. Really lovely book, and Wendy is fantastic on her book. She is very good and highly recommend it. So we've had an amazing, amazing show. Really lovely products. I'm still blown away by these 108-inch backings. I think they're really fabulous with the different colours. These succulent ones, absolutely lovely. So we've now got an amazing hour ahead of us with tools, different products and tools that we've got for the show. Got some fabulous new fabrics, which I'm going to just stroke over here quietly. So we're going to just change the set. You're going to have a graphic come up. You may not have sound. Nothing wrong with the product, with the TV. It's just we don't have sound for it. So back in a few minutes. Thank you so much for your time. Speak to you in a little bit. Thank you. Bye-bye. Welcome back. Sorry that took a little longer than early expected. We've got so many amazing products to show you. So thank you very much for joining you. My name is John Cole Morgan. Welcome to Sewing Street. Just a little bit about us. If you're looking to buy with us today, www.sewingstreet.com. When you go on, you'll see the screen with the YouTube clip on it. That will be the show that's on now, or shows that have been on previously. And then immediately below that, you will have pages and pages of lovely, lovely, wonderful products that we've had on the show previously. At the top of the screen will be our lovely, amazing sewing machines. Debbie would have covered some of those a couple of days ago, and she's doing one on Wednesday as well, so check those out. And then beneath that will be all the wonderful products that are on our show today and the 9 o'clock show as well. Our fabrics that we had on previously, oh, they're doing so well. We've got our wonderful green 108-inch fabric. So shall I do the measurement on this? You can just see how much fabric you're getting on it, because I'm going to now pin this to Mary's shoulder. I've decided to call our mannequin Mary. I don't know if that is a name I should give her or not, but meet Mary. Just to give you an idea of how much fabric you're getting on this. Look at that! So just a small amount of fabric, not a lot really. 108 inches by ½ a metre, and that's for $8.99. We've been doing incredibly well. The green has been selling really well as well, so please have a little look at the green and see if you're interested in that, because look how fun that colour is. It's just a really lovely, great pop for a back of any quilt. It's just such a nice colour. And it's a lovely apple green. It's really, really fun. Very fresh and springy, and it's just really, really fun. Springy and squiggly. The name of the fabric is called Squiggly. So have a little check out on those. Really wonderful product. You get so much of it for $8.99. And one day I will learn how to fold these on air, because I'm just doing really, really well. I'm just moving it all around. So we've got that today in the green. We've also got that in this beautiful grey fabric as well. Lovely grey. And we've got it in the neutral too. So have a check on the website. All of them for ½ a metre are $8.99. So just a really great, great deal. We love bringing you great deals. What can we say? We were doing really well on our early bird. I'm not sure if we've got any left. We're just checking on those. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to very excited about these because they're creative grid rulers, and I love a creative grid ruler. I'm just going to slide these over here. But before we do that, as always, I've not been very prepared, so I'm going to do a little bit of a demo on two of our products that we've got as well. We've got this lovely Prim, and I've covered it up, forgive me. It's called a Prim ironing blanket. 90 centimetres by 60 centimetres, and it's a really great size. You can see it's covering our cutting board really well, but equally we've also got our fabulous little baby Prim iron. Been asking for this for a while. All I've done now is I've just turned the little dial on the back, so at the moment it was set to 0, and I'm going to just get that to heat up nicely. I'm going to come to the overhead now, so you can see that this is the mat, and you can see it's got a lovely grid on it as already. And the reason I'm doing this is that I can now iron the piece of fabric I wanted to use in my demo. If I can find it. There we go. So the iron's only just turned on. And this little Prim iron, so many people use them, so many people have them. Really, really great product. And because it's so tiny, it fits beautifully in your little bag if you're going anywhere for a sewing day or anything. But even, you know, if you don't have a lot of space and you don't want a big iron at home, this one will work just as well. And it does create a lot of steam. I'm trying to see if I can get it to steam out for us. Oh, I think I've done it now. I think I have to wait for it to heat up. It's got the little orange light on telling me it's not ready yet. Debbie loves this iron, the good old Debbie Shawn. You know, she knows a good product when she sees one. Oh, I think I've got some steam coming out now. Oh, how did I get the water coming out? There you go. I think what's happened is I think I may have put a little bit too much water in that, so that's why the water's popping out. But the great thing is not only do you get the lovely iron, you get the little jug and the little carry case that you can carry it in. And that's what we're storing it in at the moment. So I filled this to the brim, put it all in there. Doesn't need it filled to the brim. So all I'm doing here, the reason I'm doing this is not only to show you the product because I love it and think it's really good, but also to be able to show you I need a piece of fabric that I'm going to cut down, and I'm going to show you all the different rulers that we use with Creative Grids. So now I've finished with my little iron. It's got this wonderful little dial on the side. I'm rotating that back. Look at all the steam coming out of it. Is it going to do it again? Probably not. It's like a little baby smoke machine. And now all I'm doing is I'm rotating this off, rotating it around, and it's now on the iron off section. So I can now safely leave this under the counter without any risk of hurting anybody, burning anybody. And look how great the ironing mat was. Worked perfectly. All I do now, take it, pop it behind me till I need it again, and it's out the way. And by dropping it there, I'm not going to have any problems. So we are now going to demonstrate these fabulous Creative Grid rulers. I'm going to pick my rotary cutter. This is my preferred rotary cutter, and of course I'm now going to just get rid of what I don't need. All I need, the bit that I haven't ironed. So what I always find with rulers is they're either too big, too small, or they're in the way. So what I find is really great about this is I'm going to first start by cutting a 12.5-inch square. So many of you, I'm going to use my little rotary mat as well actually, because this rotary cutting mat is going to show you just, this is the perfect way to show you just how fabulous this is. But actually I've just realized that's 12 inches. I'm cutting 12.5, so I'm going to just cut these smaller, a little bit smaller just on this board here. So this is the 12.5-inch square ruler. The great thing about rotary, with the Creative Grids rulers is, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. All these little circles are raised areas, and normally I wouldn't have that reflection on there for you, but all these little circles are raised areas. So when you put, so your ruler normally comes, the flat bit is completely flat. So normally with your ruler, when you push it and you're not holding it directly above it, if you get it at a slight angle, it shifts or slides, or every one of us who's ever used a ruler knows that. With these, when you don't smash it on the table, they're really strong. They can handle you doing that. So with this one, it's a lot more difficult to move the ruler. And you can see that these grips, the circles, and then on the edges, they've also got them on the edges there. You can see them here. You can see these are also raised edges. So it just makes the ruler a little bit more secure and a little bit less likely to slip as you're cutting. So what I'm doing first is, most blocks that I make in quilting are 12.5 inches. This ruler is 12.5 inches. So when you're wanting to square your block up, you're going to have a 12.5-inch ruler, and you're just going to pretend this is a block. Take your rotary cutter, you'll position it accordingly the way you're supposed to, and then you just trim all the way around. Now you can very easily use the rotary cutting mat for this. The only reason I haven't is because I didn't want to sorry, just want to get that clear. The only reason I didn't is because I didn't want to perhaps cut this a little bit not being 100% square. This mat is brilliant. I love these mats, but anything you do, whether you buy a 12-inch ruler, you need 12.5, or you need a 6-inch ruler, or you buy a 6-inch ruler, you need a 6.5-inch ruler. And that's why I love the Creative Grids ones, because they've got those basic sizes that you really need, and they always add that 1/2 inch, because it just makes your life that little bit easier. And again, all I've done now is I've lined up my edge here, lined up my edge here, taking my cutter, and I'm cutting that down. And I haven't cut that very well because, of course, it's live telly, and there we go. So the great thing is now we've cut the 12.5 inch, we've now got our 12.5 inch block, okay? So now I actually want to get a 4.5 inch square. Well, let's just measure. Let's say I want a 4.5 inch square. Now I am going to use my little rotary cutter, because this is where the rotating rotary mat, because this is where it comes into its own. So now I've got my 12.5-inch ruler, and I think actually I can cut my 4.5-inch ruler out of that, but I'm going to use this, it's a 7.5, 8.5. I'm going to use my 8.5-inch ruler because the 12.5 is perfectly good, you can do it, but it's a little bit big. So I'm going to get this one. And now I'm going to line this up. Your 4.5-inch line is over here, and your 4.5-inch line is over there. So I'm going to press that down, push that in, get rid of that, push that there, get rid of that. So now I'm not going to move anything. I'm just going to rotate my mat. Leave the ruler in place. Everything is exactly as I had it. I then, at this point, keep my finger down there, because then I don't move the fabric. Get rid of, no, I'm going to leave the thread exactly where it is. I then line my 4.5-inch line up there, my 4.5-inch line up there. And you get rid of it. You've got your 4.5-inch square. Now you can do that with a bigger ruler, there's nothing stopping you. In fact, I'm going to show you it on the bigger ruler as well. There's nothing wrong with it. You getting the bigger ruler is always better because you're going to be able to do more with it. So I'm going to cut that there. So you'll see I've turned the ruler. At the moment, my 4.5-inch lines are on the yellow, on the white. But if I rotate my ruler this way, I'm just double checking. That's 1/2 inch, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. So your 4.5-inch lines this way are on the black. And I think, I may be wrong, but that's to help people who are left-handed. So your ruler can go either way, you're just cutting it backwards. So it's just, I think that's right. If I'm wrong, don't be upset, I'm sorry. That's what I think. So all I'm doing now is, you can see it's working exactly the same way. You've got more options. The only thing is when you swing this round, you've got a bit more ruler to use. A bit more ruler to lift up. There's nothing wrong with that. It works just as well. And now I'm lining my 4.5 up and my 4.5 up. So I've just cut these two here. I line my 4.5 up there, 4.5 up there. And there we go. This rotating mat will help you tremendously in this process because now, let's say for example, you were worried that you hadn't cut that square, you just line that up and there it goes. And they're identical. They're two identical pieces cut from two different rulers. But what is also very good is with the Creative Grid rulers, they've got so many different types of rulers. You'll always hear people say to you should always use the same ruler when you're cutting a project, and you should always use the same sewing machine because the foot's slightly out, or where the 1.5-inch line is there on the Creative Grids may not be the 1.5-inch line on Alpha or on another brand of rulers. And I'm not dissing the Alpha brand by any stretch of imagination. It's just that some people measure to the middle of the line, some people measure at the beginning of the line, some people measure over the line. It's all different and it's all up to you. But using the same ruler for the whole process makes your life a little easier. So when you're using all of the Creative Grid rulers, they're all measured exactly the same. So whether you're using this one, or the 12-inch square, or the ones I'm about to show you, it doesn't matter because they're all calibrated in exactly the same way. Whereas you may not be able to get an 8.5-inch square or an 8.5 by 24.5 inch in another brand. So you use your 6-inch ruler and it's ever so slightly that hair off. So that's why I like to always make sure you stick to one brand. So those are the pieces we've cut already. We've now got our 12.5-inch piece, and you can see that that's ever so slightly bigger than our rotating mat. So and you're always going to have something that doesn't work with any product you buy. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it, it's slightly too big. So this will come into the rotating mat will come into place when you now cut the next section. Now, I don't have this ruler, but one of my friends does, and I am very jealous of this lovely little ruler because it's 8.5 inches. The number of times you get to cut something and you think, oh, I need to cut a 7-inch piece or a 6.5 or 6 3/4 inch strip, and your 6.5-inch ruler is just that little bit too much. This one then eliminates that issue because it's 8.5 inches by 24.5. So that's going to cover a multitude of all your cutting rulers. You're going to cover everything that you need. So you've got, if you wanted to cut 7.5 inches, then you've got your 7-inch line, there's your 1/2 inch line there. If you're cutting it the other way, where are we? There's 1/2 inch, 1.5, 7.5 is there. So it's just, when you're looking at it, it doesn't matter whether you're cutting this way or that way, you've got your numbers on there. Just remember, if you're using white, always use your white. If you're using the black, you're always using the black. So it's just a really lovely, lovely, well thought out ruler. Oh, and look, I've created magneticness. So now I'm going to cut a 6.5 inch strip. No, I'm going to cut a 7.5 inch strip out of this one, which in theory should leave me with a 4.5 inch strip there, or is it 5.5 inches? 5.5. So all I'm doing with this is I'm lining this all up on the 7.5, and there we go. So now I should, in theory, have a 5 inch strip left over because I cut it 12.5. But I'm now going to make this a 7.5 inch square. So again, I line this up perfectly to my white lines because I was measuring on my white. And I notice the bottom isn't completely lined up. And there you go. You've got your 7.5 inch square. So the great thing with that now is it fits onto our lovely rotating mat, and you can do virtually anything you like with that. You can then use your 8.5 inch square, and you can see that that fits on perfectly. So this ruler then becomes into play, and you can use pretty much anything you like on that. But again, you've got the bigger one, so if you were wanting to cut diagonal to diagonal, you're going to need a bigger square, so it goes from there. The only reason I'm showing you the different uses of all these squares is because I think everybody always asks me, what is your top product that you always buy? And I always say, you buy the one that you can afford, buy the most expensive that you can afford. The top one that I would recommend, I think is the most universal, is the 8.5 by 24.5, only because you will find 2 or 3 quilts that you do in the beginning slightly larger than 6.5. That doesn't mean any of the other products aren't great. The only thing is that if you can only afford £32 for a good ruler, this one's £31.99. It's a good ruler to have. It's got the amazing non-slip on it, or less slip on the back. You don't need to tack it with tacky sprays or anything. And you've got the 8.5 by 24.5 inch way of doing it. And if you're left-handed, you turn it round and you've got your measurements both ways. So that is a really great product to get. You can cover pretty much everything that you'll need to do as a beginner, and it's an intermediate. The second one I would say to buy is the 12.5 inch square. The reason being is that you will cut squares, you will need to trim it out, you will need to do half square triangles. This one's £23.99. If you can only afford the one, I probably would buy the 24.5 by 8.5, just because it's so universal that you can do so much more with it. So this would be the second one I buy. And if you're lucky enough to be able to afford all of them, you can see how it's just a little bit easier cutting a 7.5 inch square with an 8.5 inch ruler than it is with a 12.5. It's just that tiny little bit of ease. If you're lucky enough to be able to afford them, it's a really great product, really, really useful, and something that it's just, they last for years. And then the other trusty favourite, which is the one that I've got, is the 6.5 by 24.5. The only reason I don't have the 6.5 by 8.5 is it wasn't around when I was looking for it. This is a fabulous product. I've been using them for years. Most of them have all got this little tiny hole on them. In fact, actually, I'm looking, all of them have. And the reason is that when you've got so many of them, you put a little coat hook on the wall and you slot them all on your wall, and you can have all your rulers in one place, that you're not dropping them. Or if you're not able to put them on a hanger, what you do is you've got one of your salvages that are left, and then if you're going to a class, 9 times out of 10, most people don't do this. So if you've got the blue salvage on it, they know it's yours, but you do that. Or if you've got them, you can do this if you want to take your time on it, you can do a double and you can put your name on it there, but then you hang them up with that. So it's just a really lovely product. They have really thought of everything to do this. And it's not slippy. Because for me, I'm fastidious on making sure people are safe with their rotary cutters. Half the problem is if your ruler's slippy, you're going to cause a problem with it. If you are putting one of these on, just remember you're taking away this side that you can't really cut on, because if you accidentally forget and go like that, you're going to lose your handle. So if you do put them on, just make them reusable, or take offable, not sure what removable, that's the word I was looking for, removable. So that is, they're just a really lovely company. Their products are really, really good, and I just think it's just something that you're going to use forever and you'll keep forever, and they're very hard to break, thank goodness, because I'm always dropping things on. So there we go, and now, luckily, I've got my Millard extra large cutting mat here, which is just, you can see I'm always using it. I've got one of these in my studio as well. Really lovely. These are, I think the cutting size of this is 22 inches by 34. You've got all the lines you could possibly want. If you're looking for, now let's see if I can get this right. There's a quarter, there's a half, there's 3/4, and there's a, let me see if I can get my pointies. Can you zoom in onto this? Poor Joe's working so hard. He's having to do everything, all this. He's doing really well. Brilliant, that's great. So now I just need to see where I am. Right, so I'm at 15. So if you want 1/8 of an inch, it's there. 1/4 of an inch, 3/8, half, 5/8, 3/4, 7/8 and 8/8. This is where you never thought geometry or trigonometry would come in, or fractions. Now you know. So if you want to know what a 16th is, it's that tiny little bit there in between the 8th and the whole. Oh my word, I'm just hearing there are only 6 of these mats left in the company. We're hoping to get more in, but obviously we're just starting. We've been able to negotiate some fantastic deals on products. We might not be able to get them at this price range. So make sure that if you do want it, you get it into your basket now. And again, this is a big bulky product. Getting it to you is quite hard. Still at the £3.95 P&P all day. So if you bought some of the fabulous fabrics from the first show, you're only paying that 1 P&P all day. And this is a big bulky item. So whether you buy a sewing machine or whether you buy one of these, it's the same price P&P to you all day. Really, really good product there. And they thought of everything, wanting to make sure you're getting as much as you can. So now we've done the big mat, we've done our gorgeous rulers, we've done the rotary here. I got to play with the Prim iron. I'm trying to make it that I play with that Prim iron every time I come on, because it just makes me feel like I'm at home. We've got these fabulous little Fiskars scissors. I picked these up to use as a pointer. They're not only for pointing, but it's a really lovely product. So these ones, I think they're called the soft grip, easy action soft grip scissors. So what I love about these, because you know I'm so fastidious with the rotary cutter, making sure that they're safe, these scissors, you leave them like that. That's them finished and ready to go. When you're ready to use them, you slide that down. It's the spring action that gets you going. It's the spring action that gets you going there. You use them as you are. They're incredibly sharp. I'm going to cut 3 or 4 layers here to show you just how sharp they are. Should I risk 8? Oh, I'm going to risk it because I've got faith in their Fiskars products. Oh, it's not neat. It's not working. There we go. It's going. You just need to get it started. And you can see I have very, very rudimentally and not very neatly cut 8 layers there. And they really cut through virtually everything. I wouldn't recommend cutting 8 layers. Cuts through 1 or 2 layers beautifully. You can do 8 layers if you want to, and they just cut really nicely. And they've got that nice sound to it. But then when you finish, and it's got that spring action, so it automatically ends being open, which makes me terrified. But when you finish with them, you slide them up and they're locked away. And they're safe, and they're really lovely pair of scissors. Lovely to hold, soft grips. Really nice. We've had these on, I think yesterday was the first time. Was that yesterday the first time we had them on? I think they were. Really lovely little product. Because whenever we get them in, I have a little play with them afterwards, and I really like those. Oh, we have a message in from Susan. Hello, Susan. She's saying, oh, John, I can't believe I'm so stupid. Why? What have you done? Oh, she hadn't thought of using the selvages to hang your rulers. Well, Susan, there you go. You can take off what you've got and put your selvage on there. And we've had another message in from Instagram. Hello. Saying, good morning, John. Nice to see me so bright and bubbly. It's all for telly. I'm terrible in the mornings. Ask anyone. She's saying, thank you, Sewing Street, for making these days bearable. It's a horrible time, but stay in and sew. And pop on our Facebook, on the fans page, anything that you are making, because we're picking 3 winners a week. I think we're getting free P&P to people each week for the top pictures. And if you don't win, it doesn't mean that we haven't loved your product. It's just that there's 3 of us, and all of us, we all then choose the best product and the thing that we think is great. But it's a nice way of doing it. And tomorrow I'm going to have a chat with them. I'm hoping I can launch something for a project for us for next week that we can do for a free P&P project there. I'll keep that up to date with that. So if you want your message read out, do message while we're on air, and that'll be between 9 and 11 each day. And you can do that either on Instagram, which is @SewingStreet, or you can do it on, there are 2 Facebook pages. The official one for the company is Sewing Street TV. Otherwise, we've got Sewing Street fans page. And if we don't reply to you on air, I love that page, so I'm on there. The minute I get off and I can, go on there, and I always try and reply to everybody on there. Positive or negative, I want to hear all your feedback on it. This is my 14th show. It's only going to get better, hopefully. So anything that I can do, or you're a little worried about, please pop it on there and we can let you know and answer those. So we're going to do which one? Harbour Fabrics panel. With the shells. Oh, I love these. So I'm going to bring them all out. So we've got, this is called the Harbour range. Exclusive to Sewing Street. Only we have it. Really lovely fabrics here. I'm going to start with RNUU. Now that didn't mean anything to you, but Joe is busy working out the graphics for you. So what this is you're going to get 4 fat quarters for $14.99. So that's your first fat quarter. So that's our first fat quarter. This is our second fat quarter. This is our third fat quarter. It's just such a beautiful, rich navy, this. And then our last fat quarter on this 4. So our fat quarters are a little bit different to everybody else's. Ours are 55 inches by 20 inches for each fat quarter. So normally a fat quarter comes, it's 20 inches by 22, roughly. So these are 27.5 wide. So from there to there is 27.5, but they're still the same width, being roughly the 20 inches. So I can show you how they come to you when you get them. Don't want you to think you get them all cut out. Ooh. I hate doing this because now I've got to fold it all the way back. So this is the fat quarter, the 4 fat quarters you're going to get together. And I've managed to knock over the early bird again. How are we doing on our early bird? They're really lovely colours, these. It's just such a rich colour. I love these. But I love that, and these are exclusive to Sewing Street. And I'm just, every time I see something on a fabric that I love, look at the internal bits of these shells. Aren't they just so fun? Because whenever you go to the seaside and you do get one of these shells and perhaps one of them is broken open, you'll know what I mean, that you can see the centres of that. But it's just so clever to be able to do them the way that they have. It's such a different take on the nautical approach to it, which I think is very fresh. And what I love about our design team, that we're able to get these designs and exclusive to Sewing Street. So that's the first one. I'm going to do the TIUU. These are the fabric strips. So these are, I'm counting now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is that 8? 2, 4, 6, 8. There are 8 strips in this one. If I actually read the thing on the top, it would tell me. 55 inches by 2.5. You get 8 different fabrics on there. So Joe is just coming now to reposition the camera so you can see all 8 of them together. All different. And you can see that colourway at the top in the 3 different colourways. It's so, so beautifully done. And you can see then that those 3 colourways go through to the bottom 3 as well, even though the pattern on the tealy one is slightly different. So that's a lovely little strip of jelly rolls, mini baby jelly roll combination. And those are 55 inches wide, don't forget, because our fabric goes 55 inches wide rather than the usual 43. So now we're on FRUU. And I'm going to make my life easier and read at the top of the strip. This is 40 coordinating fabric squares of 5 inches. And I am loving this. Because if I'm not mistaken, you get 2 of each one. Or you're getting 4 of each one. Nope, you're getting 2 of each one. But they may be placed in a different part of the fabric. But you've got 2 that are identical. So these first 2, you can't really tell on here. Can we go to the overhead and zoom in maybe? Because I think it's important that you see these when you get them. It's got the shadow of the shells on it. So it's a bit like this design here, but they've done it, I think you can just see it there. There's the outline of the shell just there and there as well. So it's a really subtle outline all the way through, but it's the same colour as the background fabric. So it just gives you that little bit of interest on it. But this side of the fabric's so lovely as well. Look how vibrant that all looks. I'll fold that back. So that's the charm squares, 45-inch squares. I haven't even been looking at the prices, so that's $12.99. Can't go wrong with that. It's just such a fresh range. Now we're on to TNUU. And this is 16. Oh, wow, I'm loving this. So this is 16, jelly roll strips. 55 inches by 2.5, and there are 16 of them. So I'm going to start them there so you can see them all and then move them up as we go along. So many that you get here, and all of them so different. But what I love is that these colours all go so well together. And just they've got the cohesion of the different colours with all the different designs. But even looking at them that way, isn't that fabulous? They're really good. And you're getting so many strips here, so it's 16 of them, and they're the 55-inch wide, not just the usual 43 inches. And there are 16 of those, and that is $19.99. Can't go wrong with that. Now this one, I cannot tell you how excited I am about this, because on the first day I was here, or the first week I was here, I said I would like you to please do hexagons for paper piecing. Look what they did. I'm sure it was in the plan already, and I was just lucky to be able to say it at the same time. But look at these! English paper piecing is something that is a real struggle for a lot of people, but I want to show you, which some people may not have picked up on. What you've got here, because whenever you do foundation paper piecing with hexagons, you do the flowers. So if we can go to the overhead, you're going to see you've got 6, 12, 18 to make a flower. So you now can you cut these out on the edge here. Now I'm 90% sure, not 100% sure. I'm going to use my little ruler. So that's 2 1/4 along there. That's 2 1/4. So I think a 1/2 inch hexie, a 1.5 inch hexie fits comfortably in the middle of that. So what they've done is they've actually made your selvage in there. So if you cut this out, that will fit on a 1.5 inch hexagon. So you can make a 1.5 inch hexagon out of that, a flower out of that, and then you can use one of these as the center. Or you can use these as your flower and use these as your center. So they've given you the choice that you can choose how many you make. So you'll find that there are a combination of 6 coordinating ones, or ones that will go together. So here we've got 2, but you've got 4 there. So you could then use these as the centres of your flower, but here you've got 6 as well, and here you've got 6. So maybe you want to use all these dark blues for ones and use these for different ones. So this is why it's been so interesting the way they've done it, because here you're getting 60 coordinating hexagons. So if you want to start EPP as a simple project, you've got 60 hexagons here, 1.5 inch pieces that once you cut them off, they'll fold neatly and very comfortably with lots of salvage into a 1.5 inch sided hexagon. And look at all these fabulous things that you can make out of it. But let's say you don't want to do the flowers. Let's just say you want to do it as a random one. You just put them all differently. So you can have a navy one, you can have that one, you can have that one, all in a little row. And because you've got 60, you can do 6 across this way and 10 down that way, or 10 that way and 6 this way. And you've got a beautiful sized cushion. Because EPP, it's one of those things we all start and we all think, oh, I want to do EPP. But then when you've started, you're like, whose stupid idea was this? And normally it's mine. So I then think it's good that you can have a project that's really simple, ready to go, put your papers in the middle, stick them on or tack them, and then just sew them all together. And if after 60 you're bored and you don't want to do any more, you've got a beautiful piece that's been made. But if you're loving it, we've got lots of them, and they're exclusive to us. You're not going to get them anywhere else. So we've got our last piece here of CSUU, and these are fat quarter bundles. So with the fat quarter bundles, it's all about which one you like and which one you want to use. And you can see we've got these 4 here. I'm loving this one in the top corner. This one here is my favourite. But they're just such a lovely combination of colours. And these 4 fat quarters, they are 55 inches long by 20 inches wide, and they're $14.99 for all 4 of them. So you can see there's a nice colour combination. There's a nice variety of different fabrics that you can get in this bundle. So if you like the fat quarter pieces, there's 8 of them in total, all different. If you like the jelly roll pieces, there are different numbers of those as well. I think we've got 2 sets of those. So one is 8 and one is 16. We've got the charm packs, we've got the EPP hexies. So check them out on the website. Our website is www.sewingstreet.com. And this is called the Harbour range. So it's just a really, really lovely collection of fabrics, exclusive to Sewing Street. Love it. And we've not finished there. I'm going to just move the Harbour range out the way so I can show you what the one's is called. Marmalade. Paisley Marmalade. God, I love anything with the word marmalade in it. So the first one I'm doing is ZWUU. That's to help Joe get the graphics out. Ooh. Ooh, look at that one. Sorry. Look at that one. Oh, I love a big, busy fabric like that. So this is 4 fat quarters again. This is $14.99 for all 4 of them. Got the little ones in the bottom corner there, slightly larger ones in the top corner over here. But you can just see how cleverly done they are. And they're just a really beautiful range of fabric there. And the colours are so lovely as well. And if you've got a minimalist home and you don't want to have lots of different things in it, these colours, the greys and the white, or normally in most of the homes at the moment, that's a nice way of just popping it into a little bit of colour into your room. It's a nice way of lifting the colours. And of course I can't fold them for toffee. I love that fabric. I'm going to have to talk to them and see if I can get more of that one. Next one is BDUU. Oh, another fat quarter bundle. Oh, that one's pretty as well. So these are exclusive to Sewing Street. You're not going to find these anywhere else. They're just for us. I want to make sure that you've got the best products that you can have. 4 fat quarters for that, and I think they're $14.99 again. Yep, 14.90 again. They're all on the website, so if you want to get a closer look at the fabrics, you're most welcome to go onto the website. If you have any questions, don't forget to send us a message through on Facebook or Instagram. And if you don't get to watch the show live, we're on YouTube, so it's YouTube, just search for Sewing Street. And if you click subscribe, you'll be able to get every show that we do. You'll get a little notification when that happens. And here, I don't have a code, I do have a code, OPUU. More jelly rolls. Sorry, I had an itchy nose then. I just had to rub my nose. Sorry about that. So I've got a really lovely collection, 16 coordinating fabric strips here. And the only way of getting these is on our website or through our call centre. And these are, they're all different, aren't they? They're all different. So I'll open this up as well so you can see, because these are 55 inches long, 2.5 inches wide, just to give you an idea of scale of how big they are. And what I'll do is I'll move this down and then slide them up as you go. So you can see all the different colours and the different fabrics that we've got here. I feel like we need a roller blind. So it's a lovely collection of fabrics, these. I've given up trying to keep that early bird upright. Every time I move, it falls over. So then we've got the final one for the Paisley Marmalade, which is DIUU. And these are wonderful 5-inch squares. These are 40 coordinating fabrics and 5-inch squares. But look at those. And again, you're getting 2 of each. So I will slide us over there so you can start there. For $12.99 for that. They're just so unique and obviously exclusive to Sewing Street. So we've had some amazing fabrics here today. This is called the Paisley Marmalades. Don't forget to have a look at that on the website. We've covered the Harbour collection, which we did earlier. Again, check that on the website. And you can see my folding's going really well. I'm just going to put that there because I keep knocking it over. Sorry. Itchy nose, you can't touch your face anymore. So we've got these extra wide fabrics as well. I'm going to pin this to Mary. Oh, I forgot I'd put my ironing mat on the floor then. Just to show you just how much fabric you're getting with this extra wide fabric. We're showing you the neutral at the moment. And I keep going and you still don't get it all. Oh, that's just so good. Look how much fabric you're getting. You can't even see me. It's almost as big as our set, almost. For $8.99 for half a metre. Can't go wrong with that. It's just such a lovely, lovely product. And it's so unusual because I know my fabrics quite well and I've never seen the squiggly lines on the back. It's just a really nice way of being able to do quilting practice, being able to just have something a bit more unusual on your quilt. Shall we show which one next? The green one. Look at that. I've just had a message in saying, what was the lady's name? Shazza is getting this fabric for curtains for her son's bedroom. What a clever idea. And you're getting so much fabric there. It's a really affordable way of doing it as well. And it's a really lovely green. Nice little apple green there. You can do anything with it. Put some blackout fabric behind it. That's a really good idea. Because the sun's coming up much earlier nowadays. It's wonderful. So when I'm driving in every morning, I've got the most glorious sunsets coming in. It's gorgeous. And then the last colour we've got in this range is the grey. We were doing very well on the grey. I'm not sure how much we got left of this, but there wasn't a lot left at the end of the last hour. But look how lovely that is. Really lovely products there. So again, this is the first time we've had these. I'm so pleased they've been going so well. If you are interested in getting them, make sure you don't leave them in your basket for too long, because we are getting low on some stocks here. Don't want it stolen out of your basket by somebody in customer care. We're going to now do these bee gift things. Are they not the most adorable little products here? They are so cute. This is the pin cushion, because I love a good pin cushion. Love these. Sorry, I'm leaning on the counter now because I like getting nice, close and personal with the product. It's just so cute. And we've got the little embroidered stitching to follow the pathway from the little bee, and it's just got these cute detailing on it, which makes it really, really cute. And then we've got this box. I'm going to slide that out the way. I'm going to get that out the way too. So this, if I'm not mistaken... Oh, it didn't flop down. But look at how cute that is. I love this. We've just found this product, and is it not just adorable? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you from the thing. So we've got the tape measure over here, which is 60-inch tape measure. And it's a nice thing because once you've used it, you plop it back in and you're never going to lose it. You've got your unpicker in here. So it's a really nice little unpicker here. So it's got its nice little pocket that it'll always live there. You've got your needle threader over here, if I can. And I tell you, these needle threaders saved me on numerous occasions. But then again, you can pop it in there. Never lose it. Over here you've got a little thread card, so if you're just looking to put on the odd bit of odd button or just do a tiny bit of sewing, you've got most of the colours there that you could possibly use. There's a little red one hid underneath the latch. And then over here we've just got a little empty pocket for something else that you may have forgotten, with a very cute little bee. What I would be putting in there would be my emergency quality street sweetie. Any other chocolates and sweeties are greatly recommended. And then, of course, the one that you cannot live without is a nice little pair of scissors that is just too cute to go in there. And in the centre, a beautiful little pin cushion, which you can put in whatever you like, your pins, your needles, really, really nice little thing. And then when you want to put it all away and keep it all nice and safe, and where you won't lose it all, you just pick it all up. Can't go wrong with that. And the detailing on it again is really cute. Got all these little dots and everything. Oh, and you got the... Not seen that. You've got the honeycomb. Really, really, really cute. Got a little frog in my throat, so forgive me having a thing of tea. Oh, my itchy nose and needing a sip of tea. Apologies. Talking for long times takes it out of you. So here we have got a lovely little bag. I'm not sure the stuffing comes with it. I think that's just to hold up your bag. And what are we using this for? I'm just thinking now. I would keep my knitting in here. I would keep my crochet in here. I would have several of these because I would have different projects, because I like to have one bag for each project. So I'd have my knitting and crochet, even just as a little tote bag to carry around. Guest rooms. Guest rooms, when you've got guests coming around, because of course we try and make a bit of a splurge. We don't have them around often, but when you do, you can put your pyjamas in there, your little slippers, their little toiletry bag, leave it on the bed for them. Maybe my husband just goes overboard for all our guests. Don't know. But it's just a really nice little bag. Toiletry bag, you know, even for kids, you know, wanting them to keep their pyjamas and things in their laundry, they can keep, if they're going on a sleepover, pop everything in there. And it's that way then you can also tell them that that's the home door, and you're always coming home because it lives at home. Really cute little product that. Really like that. So the drawstring bag is $16.99. We've got that as a whole combination as well. I'm very excited about this little honeycomb. I'm going to rotate this while we've got you on there. Got the bee, got a flower, more honeycomb in a different colour. Got the bees. So really cute little products there, keep those in mind. Check them out on the website, www.sewingstreet.com, failing which give the call centre a ring. Now I love this little caddy. Obviously the caddy is what you're looking at now, not everything in it. We'd love to be able to give you everything in it, but unfortunately that's not part of it. So, oh, what's that? Oh, sorry. What is that? Is it in the, does this come with it? Ooh, I like it. I like it when there's something different and interesting. Here is something called an exclusive patented technology anti-mold and mildew powder pack. I love that, something new. So just leave it in the box, doesn't do any harm. So this is a Millard Caddy, and you can see it's really sturdy. And these products are obviously not included in the price, but everything that we're using on the studio goes in nicely in here. And you've still got space for more. Unfortunately, we can't give you all these products with the steel for the caddy, but they are all available on our website. I'm going to bring over the one that we use on the set and just show you how much you can fill it with whatever you like. This is the one that we use on the set, and it's perfect because we can put all the products that we're using, what's coming up for the next show. You can carry it around, it's nice and sturdy. So also if you haven't got a permanent sewing area, because most people don't, you can see our little box lives there and it is used every single day for products. And if you don't have a little permanent sewing studio or sewing space, you leave your handle up, put your products in it like that, and then when you're kicked off the dining room table every night, you just pick it up, plop it on the side. Next morning, when you're allowed the dining room table again, put your mat out, put this out, it's all in one place. So it's a really fun product, really pretty to look at as well, and it's just really nice. And that's $14.99 for that one. So, and again, just remember, you're not getting all the bits in it, you're just getting the caddy. So we're going to recap now our Creative Grid rulers. This was the 8.5-inch ruler that we had at the beginning. All of the Creative Grid rulers have got the, I'm going to just show you here when I get the light reflecting on it. You can see there, we've got our little grippy bits that will cause your ruler not to move around. So with those grippy bits, you hold it there and your ruler doesn't move. Whereas if you do have a slippy surface, it's a little bit easier to move. This is a technology exclusive to Creative Grids. Most people would use an adhesive spray or something like that to stop their rulers moving. These ones are built in. You've got the nice little carry hook that you can pretend that that's a hook, and you can hang your ruler on them wherever you go. So you can hang your ruler off that, depending how assuming you've obviously got a hook, not a beautiful pair of Fiskars Scissors that you're using in totally the wrong way. And this is the 8.5-inch square. This is the 12.5-inch square. Really, really good product, these. Oh, there we go. So you can see that that's 12.5. And I'm so glad you're all bearing with us during this time. We are trying very much to make sure that we get everything right for you all. And I've just realised we've got my microphone showing in the corner there, hidden that away. But that's the lovely 12.5-inch ruler. That's £23.99. We've then got the ruler which most of us have already got. It's definitely the starter ruler for everybody. The 6.5 by 24.5-inch Creative Grids ruler. This is the one that I've got. Really good product. £23.99. It's got the non-slip technology on the back. You can see the circles there, and on the edge here you've got that bit. So if you're using your ruler, it's much more difficult for you to move it when it's got the grips on. Where most of the rulers most of us use have got the slippy side, so you can see that that just shows really, really well what you're getting with the product. Now this is definitely of all the rulers, this is the one as a complete beginner. If you can only afford one ruler, this would be the one I would recommend. This is 8.5 inches by 24.5. It's £31.99. It's got the non-slippy design on it there, and you've got the little the holy bit there, which you're not going to use a pair of scissors to stick through, but you can then hang your ruler off if you want to through the wall there, but don't use your lovely scissors on it. So that was the 8.5 by 24.5 inch Creative Grids ruler. have a little look on the website for all of those. So now we're going to look at our best press. Now the reason we've got the 2 best presses is I want to show you how it comes to you when you get it. You're going to have this little nozzly bit with some sticky bits on it. I don't know what you would call that, sellotape or a seal, but you've got this on it. So when you get it, you're still going to be left with this bit. You can take it off, but there is a chance it's going to damage your label. So just be aware that if you do get it, the reason there's sticky tape on it is because that's your holdy thing there. So there we go. The early bird is nearly sold out. Best press we've got back in. This is $11.99. The flavour being lavender and vanilla. Really great products there. I can't believe we're at the end of the show, top of the hour. Really great products on today. Please have a check on the website, www.sewingstreet.com. You've got a little YouTube panel, then beneath that, all the products from today's show. Tomorrow we've got the Creative Grids Scrappy, Crazy and Fabric Bundles, which is with me, I'm very excited. And then the Elna 680 and Workroom Tools. I'm going to get to play with an Elna. Woo! I'm very excited. So yes, join us tomorrow for that. That'll be 9 o'clock till 11, 2 hours again. And yes, what a great show. Amazing products. Thank you all so much. Yesterday's show is up next, so there'll be a few more hours with me. Thank you so much again for your time. Stay safe during these difficult times, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.